Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to a Brilliant Businesses podcast. My name is Nick Bryant, and I'm very pleased to be joined today by Mike Monk from Mike Monk Events. How you doing, Mike?
Hello, how are you?
I'm all right, good to see you.
And you?
Now, the man behind the Brighton Hove Business Show and also the Gatwick Show, Mike and I work together on the Eastbourne Business Show, and Mike really kindly helped me set up the Tunbridge Wells Show and got that going, which has enabled me to launch the Maidstone Business Show. So between us, we've got a lot of shows going on.
Got the South of England covered.
Yeah, we have, haven't we? But for the listeners, Mike, let's just go back and if you could explain how you got into shows in the first place, a bit of history.
Okay, well, I ran a merchandising business for over 30 years, and I used to go to all the big shows in London, Birmingham, Manchester, and Dusseldorf and other countries as well, Ireland. Yeah. And I always felt you're paying all this money, like thousands, not like we charge hundreds, you're paying thousands for these shows. Yeah. And they charge you like £150, £175 for an electric plug point. And I used to think, this is just, they're ripping you off.
Yeah.
And all the food was very expensive. Everything was expensive. Once you booked the stand, they kind of left you on your own.
Right.
And I thought, well, one day I'd like to get into shows and actually focus on the exhibitor and make it comfy for the exhibitor, affordable to the exhibitor, and just a good experience for the exhibitor as well as the visitor.
Yeah. So did you start with the Brighton show? How did that work?
I actually started with the Brighton Business Expo.
Right.
I was approached by a guy who runs business shows, and I took the Brighton area, and I ran that for the Brighton Racecourse for 6 years.
Right. Okay.
And it was successful.
Yeah.
And then we parted company. He went his way, I went mine. Launched the Brighton Hove Business Show at the Amex Stadium, which is a brilliant venue.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
And it's now in its 4th year.
Yeah, it's really successful. I've been to the show, and it's a really good vibe. Which brings on to the next thing I want to talk about is it's the vibe at shows.
Yeah.
I was at one last week, and just everyone is in the right mood for it. Whether that's something since COVID or whatever, but it explain that vibe and why people are so approachable at shows.
I think people are very relaxed at shows.
Yeah.
Rather than at networking events, some people are a bit uptight, a bit nervous.
Yeah.
If they're new to it. But when you're at a show, you're more relaxed. You're walking around, you're chatting to exhibitors, you're chatting to visitors, you're having a cup of coffee. And we always feel there's a lovely vibe in the room, and a lovely buzz in the room, and we always want to try and keep that. And I think anyone putting on a show should try and create that atmosphere.
Yeah, it's the familiarity, isn't it, as well, of seeing people that walking around and bumping into your I'd like to say your friends, really, aren't they?
Yes, and most people got a smile on their face.
Yeah, it works really, really well. So with Brighton, have you always been at the Amex, or did you have another venue? Was it always been at the Amex?
Always been at the Amex.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And the venue is really important, isn't it, with the show?
Very much so. You need good parking.
Yeah.
You need access by train, taxi, bus.
Yeah.
It needs to be easy for people to get there.
Yeah.
And you don't want to have a parking problem. That's very important. If you're looking at a venue, as you do with yours now, you have to have parking with them.
Yeah, it's crucial, isn't it? And good access. And sort of, public transport is quite important as well. And being somewhere, as you know, I had the Tunbridge Wells one was at a venue, Solomons Estate, which went well for our first one. But there was a problem which I overlooked, where people just couldn't rock up and go. They had to get in the car and drive to get there. Whereas where I'm having it now, people can from the high street can go. So accessibility is important, isn't it?
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
The Amex has got its own station.
Yes, perfect. Yeah.
So people just get on a train.
Yeah.
Within 10 minutes they're at the Amex.
Yeah.
It's got a bus that goes in and out of Brighton and Lewes every 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So there's no way you can't get there.
No, that's right. So tell us how the Gatwick show came about, because that was after Brighton, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. The Gatwick show came about because I'm a member of Gatwick Diamond Business.
Yep.
I've known them for a number of years. They're a great network. There's a lot of good businesses in their membership. So I decided to chat to them and have a long chat with Sally and Mandy and the team. And I said, look, if I put on a show here, would you partner with me? And they literally were delighted to partner with me.
Get your hand off.
Yeah. So it went really well. It sold out. And we've already well into this year's second show.
And the venue for that?
Same venue.
Yeah, Failbridge.
Yeah, same venue. I'm being approached by a lot of other venues as well in that area.
Yeah.
So I will look around maybe in year 3 to see if there is anything else that's bigger possibly.
Yeah.
But at the moment, we're happy with the venue we're in.
Yeah, because the sort of Gatwick Diamond is, I always sort of think of it, I mean, it's more than Crawley, but Crawley's kind of its hub.
Yeah.
And there must be a big venue in Crawley somewhere. Well, you think there would be. I don't know.
There's another hotel that have approached me.
Right, okay.
It's more Gatwick, actually.
Right.
Which
Yeah.
has got good parking.
Yeah.
So I will have a look at that possibly for 2026.
Okay. And you also help with your events company. You all help other, well, like you did me, you know. Help,
exactly
yeah,
like
yeah.
I did with you with
Yeah.
Tunbridge Wells.
Yeah.
I've got people now approach me and say, well, we'd be interested in putting on a business show or an event.
Yeah.
And I don't get into events like weddings and barbecues.
No, it's
that
business,
sort of
business
thing.
events.
They're pure business events, all B2B.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's an exhibition, a conference, a boot camp, anything like that,
Yeah.
then I will help them do that.
Okay. And how important is it to be? I mean, you always tell me, you know, you're Brightonian. You're all you know,
Proud of
all
it,
the
yeah.
way through. How important is that for when you're running a show, being, you know, in the area and everyone knowing you? Because you are a face of Brighton. A lot of people know you really, really well within the business community. If you didn't have that, could you not do the show? What do you think?
I think you have to be well connected in the area
Yeah,
you're in.
yeah.
I mean, the model I based my exhibitions on is a model that can be copied and it could be franchised.
Yes.
Very franchisable. You could go to other towns and cities. You just have to find the right person
Yeah.
in that town or city,
Yeah.
and they must be well connected in the business community.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's no good bringing somebody in who's new in the community or doesn't have the connections,
Yeah.
because that's all important about the person you bring in.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and that's how you know.
That's how it worked with
Thankfully,
you.
it worked for me. You
Yeah.
know, you saw that it would work, and I had to say to you, "Do you think I could do it, Mike?" And you said, "Yeah," because of my connections in Tunbridge Wells. So, and that's been a godsend for me. And going forward, you know, hopefully more opportunities arise for it. I asked this question. So the most enjoyable thing you get from it, from doing the shows, you know, what do you love about it?
I enjoy the buzz.
The buzz, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I enjoy it just as much as everybody else does.
Yeah. What about the day after?
No, I'm shattered. I usually
Well,
try
it's
and
draining, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yes, it's
Yeah.
a nice tiredness.
Yeah.
Because you feel satisfied. And I usually try and take a holiday a few days after that.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
to completely wind down.
Yeah. Before the wheels start cogging
Before
again
it
for the
all
next
kicks
year.
off again for the next show.
Yeah.
Because you've always got to be planning months in advance.
Yeah.
There's no good thinking, oh, I'll put a show on in 3 months, 4 months. It doesn't work like that.
No.
You've got to plan 9, 12 months ahead.
Yeah. Have you found that you've had a different pool of exhibitors at your shows, especially Brian?
This year, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of new people.
All right. Okay.
A lot of new people. I mean, I think this year budgets are tighter
Yeah.
because of the taxes and the budget, etc. But a lot of new people. So there are still plenty of people out there who want to be at business shows.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think it's something that I won't say fashionable at the moment, but it seems to be that since COVID and since people being locked down, that everyone wants to get out. I mean, you'll see an advert on a news feed on Facebook for a show, and you're sitting at your desk, you think, oh, that's a day out as well, you know, and I can get to see those guys. And another important thing to remember is that if you plan it right when you visit a show, you know, maybe if you book appointments before you go, you can get to see so many businesses that you may want to attack in one day.
It's worth you going for the whole day.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Because there'll be some great seminars.
Yeah.
There'll probably be there's always a breakfast meeting at ours, so
Yeah.
you can network with people there. So you can start the day at 8 o'clock
Yeah.
and you can walk away at 3 o'clock and
Yeah.
you've had a heck of a day.
Yeah.
And you've spoken to, I don't know, 100 people, 80, 90, 100 people.
Yeah, yeah.
How could you do that in 6 hours?
Exactly, yeah.
It's a brilliant day.
Yeah, it's a real good opportunity, isn't
Yeah.
it? Tiring, but it's a good
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah.
And like I always say before, is just creating conversations, because you never know what comes from one.
No.
I always sort of put it like my conversation with you when I met you. My business life has completely changed because of it. It's just one conversation. So
And that was at a networking
and it
event.
was, yes, it was at the Barrow Club, wasn't it, in
That's right.
Brighton?
Yeah.
Yeah. So long may it continue. So the future of shows, Mike, how do you see things going forward for the future for sort of events like yours and mine?
I think there's definitely more shows down the
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
And it may be that we'd look at possibly a franchise model. I don't know. It's very franchisable.
It is.
And as I say, the key is finding the right people in the areas.
Yeah.
But I think there's definitely more shows down the line and conversations to be had.
Absolutely. Now, just talking about franchises, you've got a background in franchising.
Yes, I
haven't
franchised my merchandise business 26 years ago.
you? Right. Okay.
And I got 12 franchisees on board in 2 years,
Right. Okay.
including 2 in Ireland and 10 across the UK.
Right. So you've done it before.
I've done
so-
it. I know how to do it. It's a long learning curve,
Yeah.
expensive learning curve, but once you've done it, you know the ups and the downs of what is involved in franchising.
Yeah. It's finding that, like you said earlier, it's finding that right person, isn't
Yeah,
it? That
that's
right,
all important.
that right character, that right person with the right connections.
Yeah, yes. Or find somebody like a big networking group
Yeah.
and lock in with them,
Yeah.
and they may feel that would be a good thing to have as part of what they offer.
Like Gatwick Diamond kind
Yeah.
of. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it could be a partnership, or it could be they went, well, we'll take the franchise.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so you could do it that way as well.
Let's not give too many tricks away.
No, that's true. That's true.
But no, I see where you're going with it, and that's it's just a healthy, honest approach, and to you and I, it's quite an obvious approach. And you just get in bed with the right people and the right sort of organisations that have got a big pool of people in areas.
Yes, and good businesses.
Yeah, yeah,
But you've got to be honest and upfront and straightforward with people,
yeah,
and deliver. You've got to deliver.
yeah.
At the end of the day,
Yeah,
you've got to put on a good show. You've got to get the people through the door,
Yeah.
and you've got to have smiles on faces.
yeah, and a good photographer and a good
And a very
videographer,
good
isn't
photographer and
it?
videographer.
Because I've had it where people have said, they talk about FOMO, fear of missing out. They see the pictures afterwards and they go, I wish I came to that
Yeah,
show.
yeah,
Which,
exactly.
that's really important for PR, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, yeah. When's Brighton then? What's the date?
Brighton's Thursday, June the 5th.
Okay.
At the Amex Stadium.
Right, okay. Free to attend.
Yep.
Go to Mike's website. You can get all the details
Register
there.
as a visitor,
Yeah.
or if you want to exhibit, we've still got a few stands left.
Right,
You
okay.
can inquire with me, or I can send you information by email.
And who are the speakers?
The speakers, that's a really good question. Because
Okay,
I didn't
not
check
quite.
my list. But it's, I'd have to go and have a look
Oh,
at my
right, okay.
list.
Well, it's all on
again.
your website anyway, isn't it?
Yes, it's all on the website.
Yeah, yeah.
We've only got one speaking slot left,
Okay.
and I'm meeting with that person next week.
Right.
So all the speakers will be booked up by the end of next week.
Okay, good. And then we've got Eastbourne, haven't we? September.
Yeah, we're half sold for Eastbourne.
Yeah, it's looking really good.
It's going really good.
September
We've got
the
3
10th.
of the 4 speakers lined up already on
Yeah.
the website for Eastbourne.
Yeah. Shout out to Lightning Fibre, headline
Yes,
sponsor.
Headline, yeah.
And a great venue as well, isn't it? At the
Brilliant.
King's Centre. It just seems to be set up especially for events. Really accessible for people in the area. Again, train station nearby, masses of parking.
Parking, yeah.
Again, that's a free event. All the information of that is on Mike's website. There's a bit of it on my website. So again, there is some space left.
We've partnered with Eastbourne Chamber of Commerce as well.
That's right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
shout out for them.
Yeah, Eastbourne Chamber, and they've been really supportive. So that's coming along nicely. And then we've got Tunbridge Wells in November.
That's a new venue.
With a new venue, the Assembly Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is really exciting.
Yeah.
A lot bigger and a lot more accessible for the local retailers. So that's really good. And then Gatwick is October. October the
16th.
16th. Is that a Thursday or a Wednesday?
Thursday.
Right. Okay.
The only ones are Wednesdays, Eastbourne.
Yes.
The others are Thursdays.
Yes. And
No, Tunbridge Wells is
Tunbridge
a
Wells
Tuesday.
is a Tuesday because it's all we could get, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it's getting close to Panto season in November, so Assembly always fill up with Pantos. We'll book it earlier for the following year. What was I going to say about Gatwick? So that's at the Felbridge Hotels,
Yeah.
which is kind of Copthorne, isn't it?
Yes.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, towards
Felbridge.
sort of Gatwick East Grinstead way.
Yeah.
It's a good hotel, again, parking,
Yeah.
again, very accessible.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, nice vibe, good vibe.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Mike.
No, pleasure. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, good to see you again. We did one of these about 2 years ago, didn't we?
Yeah,
and,
when we first started.
yeah, so it's nice to revisit it, and so much has happened since then.
Yeah.
So many good things. And so if anyone wants to come to any of our shows, then go to our website, sign
Yeah.
up. There's still stands available. It's a great day out. And thanks again, Mike. Thanks for coming on.
Pleasure. Thank you, Nick.
See you soon. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.